I got so many discs.
Hey, oh, sorry guys, I started recording.
I thought we were going to. No worries.
Alright, so anyway, we're back with another video, and this time we'll be responding to a video claiming that Ray isn't a Mary Sue.
But we all.
Fun.
But that argument is it's definitely impossible to defend at this point.
It's impossible. It's already been confirmed. The Force Awakens strongly implicated she was Mary Sue, and The Last Jedi only.
Oh my
And
gosh.
her actress said she has no weaknesses.
And the trailer of Episode 9 showed her doing more Mary Sue shit. So yeah.
And by the way, people who are watching this,
yeah. Oh, by the way,
there's much more to a Mary Sue than just being overpowered.
Oh,
or just like being powerful.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Oh, by the way, General CGG here and King here, by the way.
Yep.
Introduce themselves.
And let me guess, this person is going to bring up examples of Luke Skywalker. That's what I'm guessing. They're trying to use Luke. So, well, he did this.
Oh, dude, he's going to bring more than that. I'm already seeing it for just seeing the timestamp.
Yeah, so. I did for those of you that haven't seen it, I'll probably link my defense on why Luke isn't a Gary Stu in the description, so you can see it.
Mm-hmm. Don't forget also to do the video on why Star is not a Gary Stu.
Oh yes, I want to start on that this month.
Yeah. Anyway, so let's stop delaying the inevitable and let's tear this video out.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
What's up guys, I'm Jacob Suggs, and welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be talking about Star Wars because, well, it was the series that inspired me to want to tell stories of my own.
Oh, so this is
to be honest with you, I just feel like I've never talked about Star Wars as much as I've wanted to in the past, and that's kind of odd considering that I've just been a massive fan of the series my whole life. And today we're going to be talking about the sequel trilogy because, love it or hate it, I've got some thoughts on it and just kind of wanted to share them here. I put these thoughts on Twitter the other day and a lot of you seem to enjoy it, so I figured talking about this in a video might be a good format because I could express myself a bit more and maybe even bring up some things I didn't talk about on Twitter because I'm just kind of limited on that website. That being said, let's just hop right into it and talk about why Rey isn't a Mary Sue and why she's actually kind of an amazing character.
No, we can watch you fail.
Oh, by the way, there's a definition.
Yes, but citing the definition and actually
to be honest with you, I really hate the term Mary Sue because, yes, there are instances and circumstances to where in Hollywood films we do get female characters and male characters and certain other characters that might be overpowered. However, I feel like for the most part, and specifically here, it's justified as to why Rey is so powerful, and she does make a lot of mistakes in the process, which we're going to be talking about in a few.
Justified!
Pause right there. He's using her mistake of accidentally cutting through that. She was still training herself!
Okay, by the way, he said that it's justified the Rey is very powerful. I'm sorry, but a motherfucking nobody that didn't know about Force existed a mere week ago. Hell, they didn't even know Luke Skywalker was fucking real. It's somehow more powerful than Luke Skywalker, more powerful than the Praetorian Guards, more powerful than Kylo Ren. I'm fucking sorry. That is no fucking justification. It's straight up bullshit.
And you mean to tell me that this woman, after just learning about the Force maybe a couple of hours ago, is able to pull off the Force pull, Force augmentation up to the degree where she can find a dark side user? Fuck off.
And not to mention, levitating dozens and
rocks.
dozens and dozens of rocks at once, weighing several tons each.
Which I guarantee you they weighed more and are heavier than Skywalker's X-Wing 5. I remind you that.
Some of those rocks might be even heavier than the ones Yoda would lift when he was meditating.
Yep, indeed. Anyway, what are you gonna say, King?
I was gonna say that I could possibly buy that. She could probe Kylo Ren's mind because he was distracted and she was probably just acting on instinct. But everything else, no.
Mm-hmm. Oh, not to mention also, man. Oh, don't forget that the official explanation right now is that she downloaded all of the.
Yes, according to the novel.
Yeah, all that information from Kylo Ren's mind. That's
whose idea was that, for fuck's sake?
The Last Jedi novelization has it, and that's Jason Fry and Ryan Johnson together.
Fucking kill me. Fucking kill me right now.
Oh no! We need you alive for episode 9.
I know. I'm immortal, so I just make morbid jokes.
Okay, so shall we continue?
So you're kind of like Nico Robin, in a way?
Mm-hmm. You could say, yeah. So anyway, 1 minute, Aaron? Minute?
Alright, I'm at 147.
Okay.
Wait, 137 or 147?
47.
Alright, let's go. 3, 2, 1, go.
This one needs to try and save Kylo Ren.
She made it out of there and beat the whole Praetorian Guards.
And Snoke is dead.
She didn't even fall to the dark side.
She still bypassed the compressor and fixed everything.
Do you have something, a cowl or something you could put on?
I mean, if Luke Skywalker can fly an X-Wing and
how
shoot
is that a character flaw?
I can't hear what he's saying. He's saying stuff about Luke's X-Wing. Alright, I'm going back a little bit. I'm going to 210.
Wait, you're going back?
Yeah, because I couldn't hear what he was saying about Luke's X-Wing.
Okay, guys, get ready. 210. King, ready?
Alright, 3, 2, 1, go.
You could put on.
I mean, if Luke Skywalker can fly an X-Wing and shoot an X-Wing so well, enough to blow up a Death Star, then I'm pretty sure that Rey could most certainly pilot the Falcon on...
Oh, I stopped. 224. No, it's not the same. If you paid attention to A New Hope, which you obviously didn't, Luke Skywalker had a pilot experience. It's mentioned in the movie that he already had flying experience flying his T-16 Skyhawker. And he bullseyed rats in it.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, the X-Wing is a totally different ship from the Millennium Falcon, which is a Corellian freighter. It has very different...
That is true. And also another thing, fucking Luke Skywalker got trained by Obi-Wan.
Yes,
his fucking eyes.
And with his experience of bullseyeing Womp Rats, which are smaller than the exhaust port, and Luke Skywalker was just using the skills he learned of enhanced reflexes with the Force from Obi-Wan that we saw him learn, and he applied that to the Death Star trench run. The Force told him when to pull the trigger.
Not to mention Obi-Wan told Luke to use the Force in the end, while with Rey we get nothing.
Yes, you by your own...
Yeah,
by your own idiot logic, a person who just flies a regular airplane could fly an F-22 plane.
That seems to be something. Let's see what else this asshole has to say.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go.
Her first try. We know that Luke Skywalker's father, Anakin Skywalker, and later Darth Vader, is where he inherited his piloting skills because Anakin was such a great pilot during the Clone Wars. And we also know that Luke
but it's
Skywalker
also not
had
a guarantee
Skyhopper
that
and
you can
land speeder on
inherit your
Tatooine.
parents'
So
skills.
it's nothing new to Luke Skywalker that he can probably shoot a gun on a spaceship and also can fly if he has to fly. But let's move on and kind of apply the same thing to Rey. See, Rey's been a scavenger for years now, so it's no secret that she would know how to fly these older ships and speeders, since she basically grew up scavenging them for spare parts. Also, a lot of people tend to forget that Rey wasn't born on Jakku, but was rather just left there to die as a young girl because her parents just didn't care about her. Now that's subject to change because we've only seen episodes 7 and 8, and episode 9 has yet to be released. But for what it's worth, Rey was just kind of stranded on Jakku and was basically a scavenger her entire life. And like I mentioned, these are older ships stranded on Jakku from the Battle of Jakku, which was the final battle in the Galactic Civil War, so these are the same ships around the time that the Millennium Falcon was made, or put into commission at least. I mean, let's just apply this
They are different ships.
Okay, I pause. First off, the Millennium Falcon's actually a lot older.
Yeah, it's actually older.
Yeah, it's way older than the prequels, actually.
Yeah, indeed. Also, another thing about the Falcon, that ship is hard to maneuver with one pilot, and Rey managed to pilot it far better than both Han and Chewbacca combined.
And like King said, let's just say I came across an old abandoned airplane that could fly, and I decided, oh, I'm going to scavenge stuff from it. Well, just because I take it apart doesn't mean I know how to work on it. It doesn't mean I know how to pilot it. It's not the same thing.
And again, she said in the movie that she had not flown off the planet before.
She said she'd flown ships, but what ships? Corellian freighters? Standard starfighters? Speeders? What type of ships? Even if you've flown other starfighters or speeders, whatever, the Millennium Falcon is a totally different beast. It requires fucking 2 pilots to properly fly that thing. At least to the degree of how Han Solo and Chewie were piloting it in the original trilogy. Hell, they barely could do any sort of big maneuvers by just one pilot.
I want to bring something up.
What's up?
Since L3 is technically in the Millennium Falcon, what if it was all L3?
You know what? Guys, you know what? Since he believes this kind of nonsense, who wants to bet that he's going to say that the reason why Rey can wield the lightsaber without any lightsaber training is because she trained with a staff?
I bet that's what he's going to say.
Let's continue then, shall we?
I'm at 3:47.
Okay.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
World stuff though for a minute too. I mean, I can't drive stick shift, but if I had been a mechanic for those specific kinds of cars and just kind of worked on those cars for years, then yeah, odds are I'd probably be able to drive one if need be, and probably be better at driving a stick shift than your average novice who doesn't really know anything about these types of cars or how stick shifts work. So yeah, it just kind of checks out to me as to why Rey might be such a good pilot, and also Rey and Luke also have something called the Force inside of them that allows them to be skilled with certain things if you call upon it. It's not like we saw that in the original trilogy when Luke called on it to blow up the Death Star when no one else could, and he was kind of a novice around that time too, so
totally fucking
I don't know,
different
just a random thought, so, you know. Now let's move on to the complaint that Rey is just so skilled with a lightsaber, there's no way that she would be able to use it that well on her first try. Here's the thing, Rey is so skilled with a lightsaber because she used a staff, which is a very similar weapon, for years on Jakku to defend herself, so...
I paused. First off, a lightsaber and a staff are completely different weapons.
Different.
They handle completely differently. A lightsaber is also completely different from wielding a sword, too.
That's why the saber staffs exist.
Actually, if she had built a double-bladed lightsaber, it would make more sense. that her previous training with the staff would actually apply to the double-bladed lightsaber. But she's a normal lightsaber with just one single blade in one side and not on both. It makes no fucking sense. Makes no sense. Hell, episode 2 clones. Anakin knows how to use one lightsaber, but even with two lightsabers, he was not possible to beat Dooku. In fact, his second lightsaber was destroyed immediately.
Yeah, all he did was pretty much catch Dooku off guard for a second, but.
Yeah, but that means that even if you're trained with a normal lightsaber, it doesn't mean you're trained with all types of lightsaber combat or weapon combat. So
yeah, I mean, for that to be possible, she'd have to know Nyman.
Or if we had episode 7 with her, instead of using a staff, she actually used some sort of, I don't know, wooden sword or hell, some sort of metal sword that she caught.
Like a vibra blade?
Oh, yeah, a vibra blade, a Sith war blade, or whatever.
Yeah, okay, that will make more sense. But no, it's staff. It's not the same thing.
If you don't believe us, okay, people, I normally wouldn't recommend this, but you try to carry a knife, swing it around, and then get a stick, a really big stick, and see if it handles the same way.
It's not going to.
Exactly. It's not going to. It's not going to. So there's that. Indeed. So should we finish this shit?
Yes.
By the way, that face of Rey with her angry face looks funny. I'm gonna screenshot that. So guys, I'll show it to you later, guys. So ready? On what part are you?
I'm at 457.
Oh, I'm 458 actually.
450.
So we're pretty close. All right. 3,
okay, let's go.
2, 1,
So,
go.
when you're given another sword-like weapon, all Rey did was basically translate her skills and kind of applied her previous skills with the staff
Not the
to
same.
the lightsaber. And I
Again.
mean, we see that in The
You're
Force
an idiot.
Awakens and even more directly
Hell,
in The
look at-
Last
look at using
Jedi
that
when Rey
pole
picks up the
as a-
lightsaber
as
and
a-
starts swinging the thing around. And I don't know what I'm doing, but you guys get the point. And of course, somebody had to comment back on my thread on Twitter about this and say, actually, I'm a martial artist and a sword and a staff are two entirely different weapons, so she wouldn't know how to use them. And to that I say,
Exactly.
we're in space movie, but I'll get back to that a little bit later.
Oh, so your answer is that
excuse.
it's science fiction. His answer is it's science fiction.
I stopped at 536.
Oh,
Literally, that's just, you just.
Oh,
all
you're
you're
gonna-
doing is basically brushing it off, like going. Hell, even if it's a fictional universe,
you know. Yeah, even if.
that's just a lame excuse.
Yes, you are
Oh, what'd you say, King?
in a fictional universe.
What, King?
Video.
Yeah. I mean, but use some basis of the same rules. I mean, if you still have a sword, it's not going to function the same way as a staff.
Yep.
I mean,
No,
that
yeah,
excuse doesn't work. It's not the same as, like... I mean, if you were talking about the... Like, remember when we did the video about the lightsabers? Like, in that
Yeah.
context, we can say, yeah, it's a fictional universe. It's science fiction, so it doesn't matter, but... In this situation, that excuse doesn't work.
I mean, the only possible way I could see Rey fighting like this is if she had Exar Kun's lightsaber.
Or
Yeah.
Darth Maul's Or hell, even some sort of Darth Maul lightsaber prototype before he got his final one. I don't know, something. Some sort of double blade lightsaber or weapon. Or I don't know. I don't know what hell. Something else. That excuse of it's a fictional universe as well. You know, that's the same type of excuses that Hello Greedo does when people bring him all sorts of criticisms. Like for example, with the hyperspace ramp, he was like, "It's Star Wars. This science fiction universe has that kinds of shit, so it makes sense that it happens." It reminded me to that, by the way.
Don't be mad. It's just Star Wars.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
So let's go on.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, go.
And also, I mean, it just kind of makes sense how if I had a stick-like weapon and then was given another stick-like weapon, then I could probably put 2 and 2 together and apply some skills that I know from that skill to a newfound skill or technique. The only reason why Rey was able to best Kylo Ren in the fight...
Oh crap, I hit an ad.
That's worse. Like Han Solo said in this movie.
Guys, wait, the ad's trying to come. It's taking a while.
You got an ad?
Yeah.
You got an ad, Iron?
So now I have to wait for the video to buffer and all that good stuff. So I'm at 5:56.
5:56?
Yes.
Well, okay. Well, get ready, because in here he talks about the bullshit like Awakens.
He talks about what? Sorry, you're breaking up.
The bullshit lightsaber duel, The Force Awakens, specifically the end portion.
Oh god.
Yes.
Alright, you guys ready?
Yes.
3,
Yes.
1, go.
Fight at the end of The Force Awakens was because she called on the Force, something that she knew was always inside her and had heard about, but never really fully grasped until the end of that film. That's like one of her arcs and pieces of character development, and it still completely dumbfounds me how some people aren't able to grasp this concept. And if you look at the majority of the final duel between her and Kylo Ren, it's mainly just Rey running away and jumping around to avoid Kylo Ren until the very end of the fight, when all hope seems lost for her anyway. And man, it's not like Kylo Ren being surprised by Rey besting him was also supposed to surprise us, the audience, as well, because it kind of surprised me because I wasn't expecting that. Now, we aren't sure about how Rey is so strong in the Force just yet, but keep in mind that there's still one chapter left in the sequel trilogy. It's obvious that she isn't supposed to be in this story, but brings up a great theme that anyone can impact and save the galaxy, whether you have famous blood or not. And even Snoke says in The Last Jedi directly to Rey that darkness rises and light rises.
Somewhere down the line, your parents...
I mean, the Force always has to have a balance. If you're looking for a better explanation on that, then check out the Mortis trilogy of episodes in the Clone Wars, as they describe it really well there too. And keep this in mind.
Alright, do you want to talk about that?
No, seriously.
Yes, pause.
Okay, once again, they're going by the whole definition.
Oh god.
What did you say, King?
I said going by the whole notion that the key to balance is to have a powerful light side force user and a powerful dark side user. That's not what the balance.
Well, that doesn't mean that he automatically gets powers and is powerful with little training.
And also, George Lucas said that the balance of the Force is the Force being at peace and harmony and no dark side, because the dark side is the corruption of the Force.
Well, no TCW nonsense from Dave Filoni.
Yeah. What you said with fucking season 3 multi-story arc, God.
Oh, and using stuff outside of the films to try to defend this?
Of course, he was going to.
You can't. You have to defend it on its own merit. Don't use.
No, to be fair, the fucking thing of light and dark at the same time is mentioned in episode. But I see what you're saying.
Try to.
Yeah, use the Clone Wars as to defend it. I see what you mean.
But now that they're supposedly working on a Old Republic trilogy, might use Revan to support this claim.
Oh God. God, no, fuck, no. Please no. This is gonna suck. So, shall we?
Where were
a minute?
I'm at 7:21.
Okay.
7:23.
Okay.
Right? 3, 2, 1, go.
Rey is still a beginner with the Force, and we haven't seen her do anything crazy with it yet other than lifting rocks, but even Luke was able to do that.
Okay, pause. That is crazy.
You're showing her lift.
Look at that. That's literally Jedi Master level feats right there.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that's not crazy.
Nothing right away.
Or what about the mind trick?
He learned mind tricks and basic force pulling and pushing.
Force gripping, to be precise.
I mean, the Jedi mind trick would be an advanced power for a beginner. I mean, we didn't see Luke Skywalker use that until Return of the Jedi, when he was a fully trained Jedi Knight.
Uh-huh.
So, oh my god.
Vector Sigma.
Being in a dire situation doesn't mean I'm somehow gonna pull off force powers with no training.
Alright. Well, let's continue on and see whatever crap he has to say. 3, 2, 1.
Oh!
Wait, what?
Oh! Okay, pause and go back to page 50.
Wait, sorry, I didn't go yet.
Yeah, go. That's why I said go pause and go back to 850 because holy shit,
Wait,
this is where we get into the hell. Yeah, 840.
I'm at 7:29.
Wait, the fuck? Did you pause it?
Yeah, I paused it when he was talking about the...
I didn't know that. Well, no matter.
Alright, go back.
No worries. What do you want to discuss?
Alright, so I'm gonna continue on.
We were still talking about her lifting the rocks.
Yes.
You know.
So he basically just contradicted himself. Good job, asshole.
Alright, 3, 2, 1.
Minimal training, so hey. The biggest complaint that I usually see about Rey is that she has no training and is able to do this. Now, I watched the original trilogy again before filming this video, and guess what Luke learns from Obi-Wan and Yoda? Nothing right away. What I mean by this is,
like
Luke fails, and he learns from experience and the mistakes that he makes and is able to build up experience and training through his own mistakes. He doesn't listen to Obi-Wan Kenobi or Yoda right away, but he realizes that in the end they were absolutely right, especially in Empire. There are some truth in Legends, I do believe that, and there are interesting things in stories, and we see characters do really, larger than life feats. And the fact that
You're really pissing me off by using that quote
so well on her first try, she didn't even know if that was gonna work. I mean, Rey hadn't used the Force up until that point, and she just did it because she was in a dire situation and thought maybe this myth that I believe in might be able to help me out. And sure enough, it did, and further solidified her belief in
her
the
head
Force,
was racing, so
which
she
had already
clearly
been
wasn't in the
kind of
right mind
solidified
state
by
to
Han
use
Solo
the Jedi
earlier
mind.
when he told both Finn and Rey that it's true, all of it. But ultimately though, hear me out. Who cares about these complaints? Who cares if she can fly a ship on her first try? Who cares if she's so good with a lightsaber? Who cares about Luke? Who cares about Rey? These are space movies for kids about magical space wizards who fly ships around, they blow crap up, and swing little lasers.
Okay, I'm pausing right now.
What happened? You sounded like you got lost for...
Okay, so he's basically saying who cares is a lame excuse. You're really saying that you can't defend it.
I was going to get there of how Rey somehow manages the Force mind trick out of a sudden. Oh, Jesus Christ!
It's still
She didn't even know.
an advanced power for a beginner.
Okay, here's the thing. Even if she had the capabilities of being able to use Force powers, how did she know that a mind trick exists? How does she know that Force power is even a thing? We know that Luke knows of that technique because he saw Obi-Wan do it. But Rey, from where did she saw that?
I mean, it's one thing to just do. I mean, granted, we will admit that some Force wielders can enact powers by accident. I mean, like I said, Rey could have probed Kylo Ren's mind by accident because the Dire Straits and because his mind wasn't calm. And we've also, and if we go by the EU, Darth Plagueis, even back before he had proper Sith training, was able to kill some of his friends with the Force.
Yeah, and Palpatine, of course, killing his family in the Darth Plagueis. But even with that, I mean, at least, but then again, that's dark side training, which is supposed to actually be a lot more easily compared to the light side.
So wait, is Rey going off the dark side?
Well, that was something. That would be something. So yeah, okay. At 8:47 is when he starts talking about the not caring parts. Get ready to that. 7. So let's.
I'm actually at 9:07, so I.
Go back, Aaron, because you were definitely going forward. And lower a little bit the volume of the video so you can hear us when we say pause.
This is gonna for when you edit this.
Well, actually, your voices are much louder than the video.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't listen to us, but oh well.
I just want to talk about what he said.
Yeah, I want to talk about it, but should we talk about it now or should we?
Since I'm at 9:07, let's just do it.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay,
skip it.
I didn't mention it earlier, but saying "who cares?" that tells me you literally have no defense to defend it.
Okay, so your ultimate argument is who cares? Okay, so then by that logic, Anakin's back from the dead and is back in his young body, and he's achieved his full potential. How did he do this? Why is he just coming back now? Who cares?
Yeah, and who cares about Rey? Who cares about Luke? You know, if you're telling me that, then say, oh, then you're telling me to not give a fuck about your trilogy. I mean, if that's what you're telling me,
and he also said,
I might as well not give a fuck.
It's a series about magic space wizards for kids. So that's a lame excuse.
That's bullshit excuse.
Franchises have to obey by the rules of the lore.
Their universe.
It doesn't matter if it's a fictional universe or it's a magical universe. It still has rules and laws that it has to follow.
Hell, even motherfucking Bob the Builder has its own fucking rules. Yes. Let that sink in. And Blue's Clues as well. You know, even the most childish and even the TV shows for the smallest of kids have their own fucking rules. They break them, it destroys the show.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't follow rules, stupid things like the Millennium Falcon being able to transform into a hand blaster, could happen.
Oh yeah, or imagine Luke Skywalker suddenly waking from Mach 2 in pajamas, and he's like, "Oh, I see the first door, and the Resistance fighting there. I'm gonna get my lightsaber, and I'm gonna jump so freaking high with the Force, with no protection whatsoever in space, and I'm gonna cut all these cruisers and Star Destroyers apart. And then when I finish, I'm gonna go take a freaking piss at the ocean in Mach 2, and I'm also gonna marry Poe Dameron, because why the hell not?" I mean, if you're gonna tell me that, if you're gonna tell me that is one stupid as fuck fan fiction, I'm gonna tell you this when you tell me that. Okay. Why do you care? You said I shouldn't care. Then why do you care that this is going to be a story that I think of it? You told me I shouldn't care about what happens in the story. Might as well just go full fan fiction and go crazy on it.
And when something stupid happens that you don't like it, we'll just say, why do you care? Who cares?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right. Guys ready to go on?
Yes.
9:07. 3,
Yes.
2, 1, go.
Swords around, all while lifting rocks with their hands. Now, Star Wars is obviously more poetic and much more than this, but George Lucas has said numerous times that despite really heavy themes and characters and strong stuff in Star Wars, these movies are ultimately meant for children. So at the end of the day,
that doesn't mean that they are
like
stupid.
There are a lot of logical reasons to back up how Rey
It just means
is
you're not going to deal with
Mary
adult
Sue.
themes.
I firmly believe that she is not, and I feel like it's kind of a double standard when you try to apply the stuff for Rey to Luke, because with Luke, it apparently makes much more sense for some reason, even though it's kind of the exact same dumb complaint, and I don't understand it. And real quick, I'm also not saying that you're dumb if you don't like Rey as a character. All film is subjective, all art is subjective, so ultimately, it's up to you, but I feel like if you're gonna call Rey a Mary Sue, it's just an unjust claim. I can respect different opinions, but I can't respect
bullshit on this now.
Putting a false claim on a film or a character within that film. It's just kind of ludicrous if you're asking me. That being said, I just kind of wanted to talk about it because I've been rewatching Star Wars and talking about Star Wars more online, and it's just been a fantastic experience online, so I figured why not translate all of that to my channel, because it just might be interesting to discuss it here as well. Plus, on Twitter, like I said, I'm restricted to like 280 characters, whereas I can just kind of ramble on and discuss my points here, there, and yonder on video.
Alright, yeah, let's pause right there.
Yeah, let's pause it. Okay, first thing I'm gonna say is this: a false claim that Rey's not that Rey's a Mary Sue. My friend, I'm gonna tell you what is a legitimate false claim that is echoed all over the internet, and that is that the Star Wars prequels are the worst thing in Star Wars. That is a false claim. That is a legitimate false claim echoed across the entire fucking internet. That is a legitimate false claim. Rey being a Mary Sue, that is not a false claim. That is legitimate fact.
That is the gospel truth.
Yes. So if you wanna spot a false claim, look no further than the insanely biased hatred for the Star Wars prequel. That is a false claim. That is really nothing but biased bullcrap. That is the definition of a false claim. Rey being a Mary Sue, that is fact. And it can be proven. Fucking proven. Especially with The Last Jedi. Yep. And then Episode 9. So, yeah. Let that sink in, Mr. Frame by Frame, I guess. I don't know what this guy's name is.
Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? Oh, wait, his name is Jacob. Okay, Mr. Jacob. Oh, by the way, you should see the likes and dislikes. There's a little more dislikes in it.
And I just added to it.
Yeah, you know
what? If I haven't already done it, I'll probably do it too.
Yeah, so... Yep. So, anything else to say on this video before we end it?
Well, I think that's all.
Okay, King, final words?
Well, when you say that, when you try to make bullshit excuses and try to ultimately say who cares, it's a fictional universe, you just pretty much prove how much of a shit you give about this franchise, and you'll pretty much just suck anything.
Yep, indeed. So.
Alright.
So, I guess that's it.
So, we'll see people around.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Later.